Yo, what's up guys, welcome back to another video. This is part 2 of 50 insane facts about US geography. I did pause this halfway through the other day because it was a very long video and I had a lot of stuff to do before getting my teeth taken out, or my wisdom tooth taken out, or wisdom teeth taken out, should I say. So yeah, we're now back with part 2. That's all been done now and I'm all, not going to say fully recovered, but I'm not really in pain now, which is quite a surprise because it's only been 2 days. But yeah, I'm doing good, and I thought, yeah, we'll come back to the part 2. I realised I actually stopped this video at 24 facts. I don't know why. I think I thought to myself I started from 50, and then obviously being at 25, that would be the 26th one. But no, I started from 1 to 25. So I've done 24 facts in the last video, now 26 facts in this one. It just means there's more for this one. But yeah, hopefully you guys are going to enjoy. Hopefully you're all doing well. And let's just see, hopefully, some more facts that no one really knows, or they're just pretty uncommon knowledge. But yeah, let's check this out.
York is south of Rome. It may sound strange, given New York's brisk winters and Rome's sunny reputation, but it's true.
I feel like Rome probably gets quite cold in the summer, right?
Most
in
of
the winter.
Europe is warmed by the Atlantic current, making European places at the same latitude as US cities significantly warmer. New York is on almost the same latitude as Madrid. That's why, while the average high temperature in Rome in January is 55 degrees Fahrenheit, in New York, it's 39 degrees Fahrenheit instead. Fact number 24. Louisiana is losing land to the Gulf of Mexico.
Not surprised, isn't Louisiana like really low down? And it always gets flooded, like floods, like when there's like hurricanes and stuff, it gets absolutely decimated, doesn't it?
Due to increasing water levels and coastline erosion, Louisiana is slowly but steadily losing land to the Gulf of Mexico. And more than you might expect. Scientists estimate that every 100 minutes, Louisiana loses the equivalent of a football field to the Gulf.
Whoa.
This is alarming
Holy
news for
shit.
everyone who lives in those areas, including the residents of New Orleans and the surrounding region.
That's a mad fact. So let's just say every 60 minutes they lose, let's just say half a football field. So every hour, so then 12 hours they'll lose 6 football fields. In a day they'll lose 12 football fields. Let's say 13 football fields to like round it up. That is mad.
Regions. One prediction estimates that at this rate, by 2080, substantial parts of southern Louisiana will be underwater completely. Fact 23. Oklahoma has the most tornadoes per capita.
Probably the most common knowledge about the US.
Oklahoma gets the not at all wanted distinction of being home to the most tornadoes per square mile than any other state in the US. The state gets around 50 tornadoes every year, most of them in the spring months between March and May, but they can also happen anytime. That's because Oklahoma is right in the middle of Tornado Alley, a stretch in the middle of the country where conditions are ripe for tornadoes to form. It's one of the only such geographic locations in the world, thanks to the clash between cold, dry air moving south from Canada and warm, moist air moving north from the Gulf of Mexico. Fact number 22. The Outer Banks are migrating west. Scientists have observed that the Outer Banks, located on the easternmost edge of North Carolina, are slowly moving west. This is thanks to the fact that the Outer Banks are sandbars that aren't anchored to anything. Every time there's a storm or strong winds, waves will pick up the sand from the lower eastern shores and deposit it further west. Over time, this is literally changing the location of the islands.
Holy shit, that's pretty cool.
Fact number 21. Hawaii's Big Island is growing. Some places in the US are steadily
to do with the volcanoes. I swear that just increases the land over time.
Losing land, but others are apparently growing. Hawaii's Big Island, the youngest member of the Hawaiian archipelago, has gained around 500 acres of land since 1983. This is due to the island's frequent volcanic activity, as Kilauea and Mauna Loa still erupt from time to time. The lava flows eventually cool down.
Isn't there a volcano that's just constantly leaking lava or something like that, which obviously increases land size as well?
And become new land deposits. This isn't happening with other older Hawaiian islands like Oahu and Kauai because they're no longer actively volcanic, so their shoreline is slowly eroding instead. But the Big Island is determined to live up to its name. Fact 20. Arizona is the only state that contains all 4 US deserts. Well, a part of all 4 of them, at least. The 4 major US deserts are the Great Basin, the Sonoran, the Chihuahuan, and the Mojave Desert, and all of them come together, unsurprisingly, in one of the US's driest, hottest states. Fact number 19. You can mine for diamonds in Arkansas. People usually associate
I feel like I've seen this before.
diamond mines with far-off destinations, but there's a massive diamond mine
But like you get the tiniest diamonds. Or was it like gems? Maybe I'm getting it confused with somewhere else.
right here in the US, located in Arkansas. Crater of Diamonds State Park in Murfreesboro is a volcanic site that formed thousands of diamonds over millennia. Not only can you
Jesus.
visit the park to learn about its volcanic origins and diamond mining, but you can actually look for diamonds yourself. And the chance of finding one isn't as tiny as you might think. So far, visitors have found over 35,000 diamonds in the park,
Oh, wow.
including the largest diamond ever discovered in the US, a 40.23 carat gem.
Wait, this is what they found. How much would this be worth? I mean, he might be about to say, but I'm going to guess. I don't know what the price of diamonds is at all, right? I don't know what size this is, but this looks clear as hell. I'm saying this is worth... I don't know anything about diamonds pricing, all right? $10 million.
Nicknamed Uncle Sam.
Oh.
Fact number
search it on
18,
my phone.
and my favorite on this list. Kansas is flatter than a pancake. Literally. There's a lot of jokes about how flat the Midwest is, but some scientists decided to test out exactly how true those
Bit wrong with that. 150,000 USD. Okay, I don't know diamond prices, alright? I'm sorry.
jokes were. Geographers from Texas State University and Arizona State University teamed up in 2003 to discover that some parts of Kansas are, quite literally, flatter than your average pancake. Fact 17. 11 states in the US have just one area code. Densely populated cities in the United States have multiple area codes for their phone numbers, out of necessity since they have to distribute numbers to millions and millions of people. On the flip side, 11 states in the US have such small populations that the entire state has only one area code. They include Alaska at 907, Wyoming 307, Delaware 302, New Hampshire 603, Maine 207, North Dakota 701, South Dakota 605, Vermont 802, Montana 406, Hawaii 808, and Rhode Island with 401.
Damn.
Fact number 16, Arizona has one of the best preserved meteor craters on Earth.
I'm here for this one. I love these kinds of facts, or these like bits of like just land that you can see all like this stuff's happened. I don't know how long ago this would have been, but to see an area that's actually been hit and they preserved it somehow, this would be cool to see.
While the famous meteor that killed the dinosaurs landed in what is today the Gulf of Mexico, meteors have left other craters all over the world. In fact, one of the best preserved meteor craters in the world is located in Arizona. The Beringer crater was formed over 50,000 years ago and now sits around 40 miles east of Flagstaff. You can walk to the crater's rim, but going into the crater itself
Holy
is
shit.
not allowed. Scientists think that the asteroid that formed it was only 98 feet to 164 feet wide, but it hit with such an enormous force that it left a 570-foot deep wound in the Earth's
Wow.
surface.
Crazy.
Fact number 15. Utah is home to the largest natural bridge in the U.S.
Natural
The U.S.
bridge.
has its fair share of engineering marvels, including iconic bridges like the Golden Gate and the Brooklyn Bridge. However, it's also home to some enormous natural bridges. Fittingly located in Arches National Park, Landscape Arch in Utah spans 290 feet in total.
I mean, no one's crossing that though, are they?
Others claim it extends over 300 feet, but the official measurement maxes out at 290. It's also a relatively thin, delicate-looking arch, only 6 feet wide at its narrowest point. A portion of it actually fell down in the 1990s, making it even thinner, but the arch is still hanging on today. Fact number 14. Only Maine shares a border with exactly one other state. Maine is the only state in the U.S. to share its border with just one other state, New Hampshire. To the north, it borders Canada. If you were to take a road trip through the contiguous 48 states and had to only cross each state once, you would inevitably start or end up in Maine. Fact number 13. Michigan has a floating post office. If you need to send your mail to a ship worker on the Detroit River, you'd better address it to zip code 48222. Known as the only floating zip code in the United States,
What
it
the
belongs
fuck?
to the postal ship J.W. Westcott II. It goes up and down the river, delivering mail to workers on nearby vessels. This is the only floating post office and zip code in the country.
That's pretty cool.
Fact number 12. Wisconsin has an official state microbe.
I don't
Many
even know what that
states
means.
have state plants, state mottos, or state birds. But Wisconsin is the only state to have an official state microbe.
Wait, what? Oh, that's why I was
But
confused.
for Wisconsin, the microbe Lactococcus lactis is incredibly important to both its population and its economy. That's because Lactococcus lactis is used in cheese making.
I was actually gonna guess cheese. Oh, that's annoying. I was gonna guess cheese. Fuck's sake. And I'm not even joking, even that was in my head. I was like, for cheese. But no, I didn't say it, so I can't claim it. God damn it.
Arguably Wisconsin's most important industry. The state is the biggest cheese producer in the US, making 2 to 3.5 billion pounds of cheese every year. And its
Damn.
dairy industry makes up 6.5% of the state's entire economy. Fact 11. One town in the US experiences full
Barrow.
polar night. Utqiagvik,
Utqiagvik. There you go. Used to be Barrow. I can't remember how to say its actual name.
formerly known as Barrow, experiences a full 64 days of polar night. From mid-November to mid-January, the sun doesn't rise at all, and the town is bathed in darkness. Between 4,300 and 5,000 people live in Utqiagvik, actually making it the 12th most populated city in Alaska. The population
what?
seems to deal with polar night just
Crazy.
fine, perhaps because they also have 2 months of full 24/7 summer days to look forward to after that.
Yeah.
Fact 10. No one can agree on which state is the most mountainous. Alaska,
Yeah, it was gonna be Alaska, surely.
Colorado, West Virginia, and Nevada all claim to be the most mountainous state
Nevada? I would not have assumed Nevada would have been competing with Alaska for mountains.
in the country. How is it that with all our knowledge of geography today, the winner still can't be decided?
It's gotta be Alaska. I mean, look how big the state is.
Well, it's because each of them is correct in their own way.
Right.
Alaska claims the title because it has the most mountains of any state.
Well, there you go. That answers the question. I'm assuming that's now going to go into like density or mountains to the sort of the size of the state.
With over 4,000 of them named. But Alaska is also enormous, so a fair amount of it is covered by lowlands as well. Colorado lays claim to the title because, as we said before, it has the highest mean elevation of the US. On the other
Yeah,
hand,
but that does not make it mountainous. It just means you got the highest elevation.
West Virginia is the only state to be contained within the Appalachian mountain range. However, most of the northwestern part of the state sits on a plateau, and the mountains in West Virginia tend to be much lower than mountains in the west part of the country. Surprisingly, Nevada is the state most densely covered by mountains. Only the Carson Sink
Really?
and Death Valley can lay claim to being flat. Meanwhile, Nevada has 2,000 named mountains, which may be less overall than Alaska, but way more per capita. Plus, almost everywhere you stand in Nevada, you can see a mountain somewhere in front of you. That makes it the winner, in our opinion. Fact 9. South Carolina has an island full of monkeys where humans aren't allowed.
Wait, what?
Morgan Island off the state of South Carolina is home to over 4,000 rhesus monkeys. Oh wait, actually, the US government only placed 1,400 of them, but over time, their population expanded. If you want to see the monkeys, however, you'll have to take a boat trip around the island, as only approved researchers are allowed to step foot on the coast.
Okay.
Scientists are afraid of people disturbing or harming the animal population, a thing humans are prone to doing.
Yep.
Fact number 8. Kentucky has a moonbow. Though most people are familiar with rainbows, few know what a moonbow is.
Never heard of a moonbow. I'm assuming it's the same as a rainbow, but just for the moon. But I don't know how that's even a thing.
Perhaps because the conditions needed to form a moonbow are quite rare. But at Cumberland Falls in Kentucky, the mist at the base of the falls sometimes reflects the light coming off an especially bright and full or nearly full moon. This creates what locals call a moonbow. Fact number 7.
is pretty cool.
Mount Washington recorded the fastest wind speed on
How high could it be? I'm going to say 320 miles per hour.
Earth. Those who live in New Hampshire know that the hike up Mount Washington is deceptively dangerous and difficult, proven by the many search and rescue missions undertaken there every year. That's partly due to the harsh weather that batters the mountain, which may be why the fastest wind speed ever recorded on Earth was noted here in 1934. On one horrific day, the wind clocked in at 231 miles.
Okay, I was a bit eager to get very high. Yeah, again, I don't really know these levels. I know just when there's like 30-mile-per-hour winds. I hate that. I hate wind more than anything. Wind is the most frustrating weather sort of condition event possible. Rain, I hate it, but I mean, to be fair, torrential rain is probably up there. But I love sitting inside when it's raining. I love it. Wind, even when I'm sleeping, you're hearing it like battering your windows and stuff. It's just, there's nothing fun about wind. And when you're outside in wind, it's so jarring. It just pisses me off. So yeah, wind for me is the worst sort of weather thing that there is. I don't know how to describe it, but you know what I mean.
An hour. To understand just how fast that is, think of the fact that the Porsche 911, one of the world's premier sport cars, tops out at only 204 miles an hour. A skydiver falling headfirst towards the Earth will generally only reach 160 miles an hour. The wind only needs to reach 120 miles an hour to knock you down. So a speed of 230 miles an hour would quite literally throw you off the mountain. Fact number 6. Engineers made the Chicago River flow backwards. In the 19th century, the rapidly expanding town of Chicago had a problem. Though it had a prime location on the Chicago River, the river was actually flowing towards Lake Michigan, which happened to be the city's drinking water supply. And what it was carrying was sewage and waste. One day, William Boldenweck, the head of the sanitary district of Chicago, got an idea. What if he just reversed the river's flow? And he was serious. In 1900, after 8 years, the removals of 42 cubic yards of soil and rock and the construction of a 28-mile-long canal, that's exactly what he did. Fact number 5. Buford had a population of 1 up until 2012. People driving through rural Wyoming would sometimes come across the town of Buford and do a double take when they saw the welcome sign. Buford, population 1, elevation 8,000. The sole resident, Don Salmons, had lived in the area since 1980 with his family. After his wife died in 1992, Salmons decided to buy the town and began operating the Buford Trading Post. His son moved away in 2008, and Salmons eventually closed the store in 2012 and put the town up for auction. Fact number 4, Kansas City has a massive underground complex. Kansas City, Missouri has one of the largest underground business complexes in the world, named Subtropolis. Over 6 million feet of space are carved into the ground for this complex, which sits 150 feet below the city's surface. Today, the complex is mostly used as storage for e-commerce, pharmaceuticals, cars, records, and food distribution, to name a few, so the products can be kept away from exposure to the elements. Fact number 3, you can see the Earth curve at Bonneville Salt Flats. Located in Utah, the Bonneville Salt Flats are so flat, smooth, and never-ending that you can literally see the Earth curve when you look out at them on a clear day. The alien-looking landscape is mostly known for being a place where people set land speed.
This is a mad old place.
Records, thanks to the aforementioned flatness. Fact number 2. One Hawaiian island is closed to the public. Unlike most private islands, Niihau wasn't closed to push locals out.
Volcanoes?
It was preserved to protect them. Niihau has been owned by the Robinson family.
Oh, so people do live there, which is that the public can't go there. Oh, I love that.
Since 1864. They maintain strict control over who can visit the island to conserve the island's flora, fauna, and the indigenous culture of Niihau as well.
That is cool.
The only people allowed on Niihau are native Hawaiian inhabitants, the Robinson family themselves, and invited guests. Finally, fact number 1. The U.S. town of Rough and Ready once declared itself an independent republic. Rough and Ready is located near Sacramento in California. In 1850, frustrated over the mining taxes and taxes on alcohol, it declared its independence from the Union, forming the Great Republic of Rough and Ready. The reason you may not have learned about this in history books is because independence only lasted 3 months. Strangely, until July 4th. Feeling a surge of patriotism on the rest of the country's Independence Day, the citizens of Rough and Ready rejoined the United States. Thanks for joining me today.
Well, there we go. Some more interesting facts that will blow your mind. No, sorry, that you won't believe are true. And yeah, there were some good ones today. I've already read these comments last time I've done this reaction. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this reaction. Let me know your thoughts on these facts. I enjoyed this. Hopefully you did too. And yeah, until next time, like, subscribe, and peace.